Good day, and welcome to another episode of Throwing It Back with Sean Farrell. I am Sean Farrell. God is great all the time. All the time, God is great. And let's not waste no time. Let's get right to it. So, a little short side note to the video that I did yesterday about Wilt Chamberlain versus Butch Van Brederkoff. I forgot to mention that when Chamberlain took himself out and Butch Van Brederkoff refused to put him back in after Chamberlain said he's ready to go back in. Okay. Jack Kent Cook actually came down and told Butch Van Brederkoff, put Chamberlain back in. And Butch Van Brederkoff replied by saying, Mr. Cook, get out of here. Okay. So, Butch Van Brederkoff actually resigned before Jack Kent Cook could fire him because Butch Van Brederkoff knew that was going to happen. Van Brederkoff was as good as gone. Okay. So, staying on the topic of the Lakers, okay. Let's fast forward 30 years later to 1999, okay? And 1999 was one of the more dysfunctional seasons for the Lakers in their history, okay? But this actually starts back in the 1998 NBA playoffs, okay? The Lakers had beat Portland, and they beat Seattle in the first two rounds, and that set up a rematch with Utah in the Western Conference Finals. Okay, and Utah won 62 games, Lakers won 61, and Chicago also won 62 as well. Okay, so they were down in the Final Four. Lakers and Jazz were, along with the Bulls and Pacers. And game one in Utah started out very ugly for the Lakers. They were down by a score of 40-15 at one point. They were down 40-15. And from there, the Lakers' confidence just went into the toilet. Okay. And they ended up losing that game 112. It's pretty obvious. They lost 112-77 in game one. Came back with a better effort in game two, but still lost narrowly by 4 points and lost the last two in LA. Okay. And Nick Van Exel said we never could stop Utah's offense. They ran it the way they wanted the whole series. Utah did. And the day after the Lakers had got swept by Utah, Jerry Buss said Nick Van Exel and Elden Campbell have played their last games for the LA Lakers. That's just how much the fallout from this sweep was. And so, of course, had a 98-99 lockout. So while the agreement was being hammered out, Derek Fisher, Corey Blunt, Shaq, and Kobe played a little pickup ball, played a little 2-on-2, okay? And so Kobe was largely seen as aloof, never really talked to his teammates, and Derek Fisher recalls approaching him in the 1998 offseason because after 2 years, Derek Fisher said he knew really nothing about him. Really knew nothing about Kobe, okay? And so Derek Fisher was someone who worked hard on his conditioning, and that rubbed off on Kobe Bryant. He was a physical practice player, Kobe Bryant was. And, of course, he was always working to get better. But there were those teammates who didn't like Kobe Bryant because of the way he attacked practices. Okay. Kobe was always so intense in practice, and the other Lakers didn't like that. But Derek Fisher said that's the way we all should have been competing, with the spirit that Kobe Bryant competed with. Okay. And so some reports began to emerge that Shaq had slapped Kobe in practice, and things had gotten physical. It had escalated, and Derek Fisher said, "I think some true feelings came out of that altercation between Shaq and Kobe." Okay, some true feelings came out, and so Shaq and Kobe, the beginning of quote Shaq Kobe, the dislike was so intense between those two, and you recall when Phil Jackson came in the next year, he said there was a Shaq camp and then there was a Kobe camp. Okay, so but the 99 season was broken down like 4 seasons in one. Okay, first there was Dale Harris, who got fired after 12 games. Then Kurt Rambis took over the same day that Dennis Rodman was signed. Then there was the Eddie Jones, Elden Campbell trade. That was the 3rd season. And then the 4th season began with Rodman being released, which I'm going to get into those things. Okay. So there was frustration, chemistry issues with the Lakers during the 98-99 season. There was a sense that the entire Lakers squad really didn't like Kobe Bryant, and the failure of the team was about him. Some friends and family thought that Kobe's teammates were envious, jealous, and he signed for $71 million before the season began. Okay, and Dale Harris thought that Shaq was too much of a comedian, too much fun loving, and if you Bryant's teammates the previous season began calling him Showboat. Okay, Bryant's teammates called him Showboat, and they didn't mean it in a positive way. When they say showboat, he was always trying to showboat, like in a bad way. Kobe Bryant was. And so the 98-99 season began, and because of the lockout, Kobe worked on his conditioning extensively. Okay, and he also worked on his offensive footwork. And through the first 10 games of the 98-99 season, he averaged 20.5 points, 9 rebounds, 1.5 steals, 1 block, and his shooting percentage was up to 46.4%, which was at 42.8% in 1998. Okay. And so Shaq began calling for management to sign a power forward. Okay. And Shaq wanted the Lakers to sign Dennis Rodman. Okay. And then there were the persistent trade rumors with Eddie Jones at the start of the season, which Eddie Jones started out the season slow. Wasn't shooting the ball as well. And that's when Shaq began running his mouth about how we need to replace Eddie Jones. Shaq said that we have good shooters on a team, okay? we need someone who's known as a shooter. Okay. Okay. And so lost in all of this was Tyronn Lue, who was a rookie on the 99 Lakers. The 99 season was Tyronn Lue's rookie year with Shaq and Kobe. And there was one guy, y'all may remember this name, by the name of Ruben Patterson, who it was his rookie year as well. And so Ruben had a fiery personality. And, Kobe being the personality he is, those two clashed often in practice because Ruben wasn't going to back down. Kobe wasn't going to back down. So bad chemistry. Players don't like each other. There was dissension was in the roster. Not only that, there was a conflict going on between Jerry West and Jerry Buss because Jerry Buss had promised West a $2 million bonus and Buss didn't give it to him. So Jerry West had private thoughts of leaving. And then Shaq himself had private thoughts of leaving if Jerry West had left too. So you got all of this going on. And on top of that, after the Lakers lost to Utah, the second game of the season, Shaq said Utah has a great 1-2 punch. And then he said, we have a 1 and sometimes 2 punch. Okay. Those were Shaq's quotes. Okay. So the Lakers lost 3 straight games in February and Dale Harris got fired. Then Kurt Rambis was brought in, won his first 10 games as head coach. And after he took over, he signed Rodman the same day, like I mentioned before. And Dennis Rodman was, he may have been crazy, but Dennis Rodman was also smart because he was also talking the young Lakers through defensive situations. Okay. And they became a better team defensively. The Lakers did. Okay. So after they won, Rambis won his first 10 games, and more reports began to circulate about Eddie Jones being traded. And Eddie Jones started off the season slow, and Eddie Jones said, you hear these rumors, and then you say to yourself, I got to go out and show them. Then you show them, then you hear them again, okay? And so Kobe knew that the trade rumors were bothering him, and not only that, Eddie Jones was sort of a buffer in the relationship between Shaq and Kobe because he would get on to Kobe, and he would also get on to Shaq about Shaquille O'Neal's defensive laziness because he knew Shaquille O'Neal can be a wee bit lazy on the defense. And so there were rumors about how to trade. So in the midst of that win streak, okay, they won in Utah. They won 97-89 in Utah. Utah had a 20-game winning streak at home, won 5 straight against the Lakers, and have taken 13 of 16 overall from the Lakers, okay? But the Lakers went in and won at the Delta Center, okay? And so they then beat the Clippers on a Tuesday. And then after they beat the Clippers, That's when the deal went down. Elden Campbell and Eddie Jones to Charlotte for J.R. Reid, Glen Rice, and B.J. Armstrong. And so there was talk that the Lakers traded Eddie Jones because they thought Eddie Jones was standing in the way of Kobe Bryant's progress. Okay. And Elden Campbell and Jerry Buss didn't want to pay $7.5 million for a backup center to Shaq, which was Elden Campbell. And so you take Elden Campbell away that season. And so who do you have when Shaq takes a rest? Who do you have who's going to play the big guys on San Antonio? Who are you going to have when you play the big guys in Portland? Okay, because Del Harris said Elden Campbell was really good against teams like Portland and San Antonio. Okay, and he said Jerry Buss began to panic, and he alienated Jerry West. And Del Harris said he started listening to other people. Jerry Buss did. And he alienated Jerry West. Okay. And so, amidst all of this, Dennis Rodman got released in April because he showed up to practice drunk. Okay. So, they fired Del Harris after a 6-6 start. Kurt Rambis takes over. Leads them to a 25-13 record. And they beat Houston 3-1. And then the San Antonio Spurs turned around and swept them in 4 straight, which they did kind of easily. Okay. And so after the series was over, Rick Fox said he lost all the love he had for the game. That's how much getting swept hurt. And Shaquille O'Neal didn't attend the final meeting of the year after the Lakers got swept, and he went back home to Orlando. So, so yeah, got all this turmoil. You got players fighting. You got Jerry Buss and Jerry West fighting. You got coaching changes. You got bad chemistry. The Rodman saga. The Eddie Jones, Elden Campbell trade. Yeah, so, not only that, you had to deal with players, coaches, agents. Glen Rice wanted to run this. Shaq wanted to run this. Kobe Bryant wanted to run this. And you got Kurt Rambis trying to deal with all this. So, the dysfunction of the 99 Lakers kind of ended the way dysfunctional teams should, right? Getting swept by the eventual champion Spurs. Okay. So, there you go. All right. That's it. That's all. Let me just end with this one side note, okay? I try to post most of the content on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Okay. Try to post most of my content then. But I work overnights too. Okay. I work overnights at my job Thursday through Sunday. So most of my content I post Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And I post a little less content. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday because I work overnight. So just a little side note right there. All right. That's it. And that's all. This has been Throwing It Back with Sean Farrell. Peace out. God bless.